Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to peel back the viral headlines from the 2026 Cannes Film Festival to reveal a truly fascinating, kind of unbelievable story. We're diving into a world where the blinding flashbulbs and glitz of the Cannes red carpet collide directly with the grease, grit, and jet fuel of an airplane hangar. It's just an incredible look at John Travolta's dual life. On one hand, a Hollywood legend, and on the other, a deeply, deeply passionate aviation preservationist. So let's look at how a monumental cinematic moment actually connects to the revival of a massive vintage aircraft. To kick things off, let's dive into the immediate question on everyone's mind following his massive weekend on the French Riviera. If you scrolled through any entertainment feed recently, you absolutely couldn't escape the 72-year-old actor completely taking over the Cannes news cycle. I mean, he was everywhere. But the reasons why are actually twofold. It's this wild blend of immense professional recognition mixed with a rather intense wave of public scrutiny. So the buzz originally began with a genuinely touching moment. Cannes Festival director Thierry Frémaux completely surprised Travolta with an Honorary Palme d'Or. It led to this massive, thundering standing ovation in the theater. And a visibly emotional Travolta held back tears, delivering this incredibly powerful quote. "This is beyond the Oscar." Wow, right? It was a profound acknowledgement, capturing the heavy emotional weight of a career that stretches all the way back to his breakthrough in the 1970s. But of course, you know how the internet is. It has a completely predictable tendency to ignore a profound, once-in-a-lifetime achievement in favor of analyzing a celebrity's wardrobe. While his peers were honoring his life's work, public curiosity online fixated squarely on his striking new appearance. People hyper-focused on his thinner, somewhat gaunt look, accompanied by a cream beret, silver-rimmed glasses, and a very sharp beard. This sparked widespread speculation across social media. Reactions were split right down the middle, between genuine fan concern for his health and, well, widespread rumors about the use of weight loss drugs like Ozempic. But moving past all that social media noise and the superficial red carpet aesthetics, the actual reason he was at the Debussy Theater was to celebrate a massive personal milestone. He was there to premiere his very first film as a director. The movie, backed by Apple TV, is titled Propeller One-Way Night Coach. And think about what this means for a second. For an actor who has spent half a century comfortably in front of the camera, stepping behind it to make a directorial debut at age 72, that is an incredibly rare, completely terrifying creative leap. It's a massive reinvention. And this wasn't just some hot script rushed into production. Actually, its origins go back nearly 30 years. It started as a simple 42-page children's novella that Travolta wrote and beautifully illustrated back in 1997, specifically for his son. Over the decades, that deeply personal bedtime story evolved, transforming into a tightly paced, 61-minute family film. And what makes it even more of a family affair is that it actually stars his 26-year-old daughter, Ella Bleu Travolta, playing one of the flight attendants. So what is this movie actually about? Well, it perfectly bridges his two worlds. Propeller One-Way Night Coach is an autobiographical family drama set securely in the luxurious golden age of commercial aviation. It follows a young boy and his mother on a cross-country odyssey to Hollywood. But the true star of the film's imagery, the beating mechanical heart of the story really, is a stunning TWA Lockheed Constellation aircraft. It just perfectly captures that pure nostalgia of mid-century flying. Because his connection to these flying machines isn't just Hollywood magic. That number right there, that represents the astonishing 9,000 real-world flight hours Travolta has logged as a seasoned professional pilot. He doesn't just pretend to fly in movies. He's up in the air, actively piloting aircraft, and has been doing so for decades. The immense dedication and absolute focus required to log 9,000 flight hours is exactly the same obsessive dedication required to reinvent yourself and direct a film at age 72. This is an obsession that started with a young boy pressing his face against the glass, simply watching planes take off from New York's LaGuardia Airport. He officially began flying at just 15 years old, and by age 22, he had earned his very first pilot's license. Now, in 2026,
He brings that lifelong devotion full circle by directing a highly personal, aviation-themed film. It's a passion that has truly defined his entire life off-screen.
And to understand just how elite his skills are in the cockpit, consider his qualifications. He holds 11 different aircraft type ratings. This means he isn't just taking up small single-engine planes on sunny weekends. No, he is legally certified to fly massive commercial jets, including the Boeing 747 and the Airbus A380. In fact, he was the very first private pilot in the world to fly an A380. I mean, that is just a staggering aviation achievement. Decades of blockbuster success have given him the unique ability to turn this passion into active, large-scale preservation. A famous example of this was when he acquired an ex-Qantas Boeing 707, a massive, vintage jet that he lovingly named Jet Clipper Ella after two of his children. He later made headlines by donating that very same aircraft to the Historical Aircraft Restoration Society in Australia, ensuring this beautiful piece of aviation history was preserved for future generations. Which brings us back to the star of his new film, the gorgeous Lockheed Constellation. The specific four-engine aircraft, known for its incredibly iconic and graceful triple-tailed design, is so much more than just a movie prop. It's an absolute legend of the skies. And it's become the focal point of Travolta's latest and perhaps most ambitious real-world preservation undertaking to date. In a truly surreal blending of his cinematic career and his aviation preservation efforts, Travolta's own production company, fittingly named Constellation Productions, Inc., stepped in late last year. In September 2024, they officially acquired a genuine, historic Lockheed L1049H Super Constellation, carrying the registration number N6937C. Think about how wild that is. A movie production company buying a multi-ton historic airliner just to save it from the scrapyard. He essentially brought the magic of the airplane from his film into tangible reality. It's the ultimate passion project. This was a true rescue operation. I mean, picture this. An aircraft sitting dead on a Kansas City tarmac for nearly 20 years. It had been completely grounded at the Airline History Museum after a catastrophic engine failure all the way back in 2005. Most people would write it off as pure scrap metal, but after his company acquired it last fall, an elite team of mechanics managed the impossible. Fast forward to January 2025, and in a triumphant, almost cinematic milestone, all four engines were successfully test run right there on the ramp. The massive aircraft even taxied under its own power. So, looking at his triumphant Cannes premiere alongside this massive physical restoration, we're left with one really compelling question. Do these recent events represent a career capstone, a lifetime achievement award and a final nostalgic passion project? Or is this actually the very first flight of an entirely new era for John Travolta as a director and historical preservationist? It's a fascinating thought to leave you with. Thank you so much for exploring this incredible journey with